Hello and welcome back to the Almost April Golf Channel. I'm your host, John Abbey. Today we're going to be discussing something I love to debate, and that is the most underrated major championship in recent memory. Golf has had some amazing major championships throughout the years, and I do not want them to be forgotten. So my mission is to make sure and guide you through some of the great majors that have happened but have been overlooked in years past. So to kick off this series, I'm going to guide you through one of my personal favorites and what I believe is the most underrated major championship in recent history. Let's go all the way back to April 2011 for the 75th playing of the Masters. Sunday broadcast started like any other Masters broadcast would, with Jim Nantz talking about the leaderboard. Young 21-year-old Rory McIlroy was leading the tournament at 12 under. Charles Schwartzel, Jay Day, KJ Choi, and Angel Cabrera, the Argentinian, were at -8. They were the closest chasers, so everybody was at least 4 back. Adam Scott was at -7, and then Bubba and Tiger were sitting at -5. Also, the course was set up for ideal scoring conditions. It was like 85 degrees and absolutely no wind. So again, people are going crazy over Rory. He was 21 years old at the time, and people were ready to anoint him as the next big Tiger Woods. He had the 54-hole lead and was the second youngest player ever to hold a 54-hole lead at the Masters, behind Mr. Woods himself, and he was attempting to go wire to wire, which no 21-year-old had ever did at the time. So people were loving him. The action started right away as soon as the broadcast got on, which is one of the reasons why I loved this event. Tiger birdied hole 2. He also birdied hole 3. As he was birdieing hole 3, Rory was showing major nerves on hole 1. He had a great drive, but had an awful approach, blew a wedge over the green, and then missed a 4-footer for bogey. So Tiger went to -7. Rory now falls back to -11. The big mover early on, though, was Charles Schwartzel. He had a bump and roan chip in on hole 1 and then hold a wedge on hole 3 to tie the lead.
And how close these other holes are to the second green. Charles Schwartzel with his second here at the short par 4. And he's played a beauty.
Ian Baker Finch.
And that was the roar.
Chips in at the first.
Unbelievable, Nick.
Holds a wedge.
So right away, the whole narrative that Rory was going to win wire to wire in a blowout and be the next face of golf quickly evaporated, and you could tell by the way that the broadcast was handling that as well as the crowd. I mean, he looked shaky from the jump. On a hole 2, he hit the lip of the bunker and barely escaped with a par, and not to mention Charles Schwartzel just caught him. So he's tied with the lead with Charles. There are a ton of chasers, and it's really getting interesting at this point. Then Mr. Eldrick Tiger Woods decided to go nuclear to finish his front 9. He had a great approach shot on the par 3-6 and converted a birdie.
Wow. Where did that start? Swooping it in. Oh, it's using the slope. Very cheeky. That's how you get below the hole, Vern.
There you are. Perfect.
He then had another dart that he threw in close on hole 7 to get another birdie.
Second shot. Good aggressive swing through the hitting area.
And hit one of the best approach shots I've ever seen on hole 8, a rope hook 3-wood to put him 8 to 9 feet for eagle, and he converted that as well. So now he is tied for the lead also. While Tiger was going nuclear and joining the party up at the top of the leaderboard, Rory was showing even more nerves. He missed another 5-footer on hole 5, and that's his 3rd missed putt inside of 5 feet to start the round. Just a brutal way for him to start it. And really, you could tell that he just was never in control of his game. He does convert a birdie opportunity to take a 1-shot lead on hole 7, but you could still tell that he was rattled. And after this, the round kind of stagnated for everybody. KJ Choi and Angel Cabrera made a barrage of birdies to close out the front 9 for them. But other than that, the leaderboard stayed pretty stagnant. And then Rory makes the turn, and absolute chaos and disaster strikes. Rory pulls his tee shot on hole 10 so far left, he ends up in the cabins, then has to punch out. And then his 3-wood into hole 10 was terrible as well. He pulled it way left. And he just kept on compounding errors. I'll let you guys watch.
4th shot. He's got to get up and over this little tree. And that hit it.
Back on the upward spiral.
His 5th shot finally finds the surface, and it's not a great one either. The misery is over.
He ends up tripling hole 10, he bogeys hole 11, and then on hole 12, he double bogeys to put him out of contention and out of the tournament. And you could just tell that the moment was too big for him at this point. I'm glad he made up for it the next tournament at the US Open, but yeah, just a really tough way to lose your first major championship. So almost simultaneously, when Rory is triple bogey in the 10th, Tiger hits a majestic 5-iron on hole 15 to give himself a 5 to 6 foot eagle look to take the lead. Then after that, about 5 seconds after they showed the Tiger shot, they show Jason Day birdie in the 12th hole. So you have 4 guys tied at -10. You have 2 guys at -9, and Tiger at -9 has a chance to take the lead outright with an eagle putt on 15. Tiger unfortunately missed his eagle opportunity at 15. He tapped in for birdie to tie the lead, but this was kind of a sign of things that happened in the past and things to come. He just never really got the putter going and stayed stagnant after 15. Behind him, Jason Day 2-putted for a birdie on hole 13 to jump up to -10 and grab a share of the lead. So now 5 guys are at -10, and Jeff Ogilvy birdied 12 to 15, 4 in a row to get to -9. So it is absolute chaos right now on the leaderboard. At this point in time, the field starts to thin out. Tiger doesn't make another birdie in his round and stays stagnant at -10. Adam Scott puts one in close at 14 and makes the birdie. Jason Day matches him, puts one in close also on hole 14, but misses the birdie. So Adam Scott is now our leader at -11 with 4 guys at -10. Now we turn our attention to holes 15 and 16 because that is where the leaders are. Tiger and Jeff Ogilvy both finished the rounds at -10, so their hopes to win this Masters are gone. Charles Schwartzel makes a birdie on hole 15 to briefly tie Adam Scott at -11. Then Adam Scott makes a birdie on hole 16 to regain and take the lead.
This is the leader, Adam Scott. This could really be good.
Schwartzel then holes a putt on 16 to tie the lead once again. Oh, yes! Adam Scott follows up with a great par save on hole 17.
It was a nice rhythm.
Drama continues. Charles Schwartzel and Adam Scott both play their respective holes beautifully. Schwartzel has a 7-foot birdie putt on hole 17, while Scott has an 18 to 20-foot birdie putt on hole 18. Schwartzel converts the birdie putt on hole 17 to take the outright lead, and Adam Scott unfortunately misses his, so he is now in the clubhouse. Now Charles Schwartzel has a 1-shot lead going into the 18th tee. And what does he do? He puts an exclamation point on the round. He birdies hole 18 to become the first player in Masters history to birdie the last 4 holes to win the event. And on top of that, that was his first ever PGA Tour win. Just a crazy, crazy tournament. It had everything. It had Roy collapsing. It had fireworks in the middle of the round. It had Tiger Woods fist pumps. And it had a player win the event rather than lose the event, which is something you always like to see. Great tournament and definitely one of the most underrated major championships in history. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you liked the video, and follow along as I continue this series.